Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, June the 2nd. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Gina Barti. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, it's day 2 in the trial of a Washington, D.C. man accused of causing a deadly car accident in Prince George's County in 2013. 33-year-old Charles Smith is charged with vehicle manslaughter, child abuse, driving while impaired, and other counts related to the crash that claimed the life of his young son. Rochelle Metzger is at the courthouse in Upper Marlboro with more.
The prosecution is laying out its case against Charles Smith, the man they say was driving recklessly high on PCP with his 2 kids in the back seat when he struck several vehicles before crashing his own, causing the death of his own son. Today, several witnesses and first responders took the stand. But first, the children's mother tearfully testified that on the evening of May 9th, 2013, she helped then-boyfriend Charles Smith put her 7-year-old daughter and their 4-year-old son into his white Ford Explorer and watching them pull away. She says at the time, she didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Another witness testified that he was driving on Bladensburg Road and observed a white SUV going way under the speed limit. The man says he passed the vehicle and saw the driver slumped over the steering wheel. The next time he says he saw that Explorer, it was whizzing by him at a high rate of speed. Several other witnesses testified that they saw a white SUV speeding southbound on Bladensburg Road, weaving in and out of traffic, at times crossing into northbound lanes. Another man testified that he saw that SUV continue down the road and then crash into a couple utility poles, a tree, and a brick wall. Now, one witness was a man who says he was the first on the scene and pulled the driver who suffered critical injuries and a young girl with minor injuries from the burning, smoking car. He says when he came upon the little boy, Charles Sullivan, he says he was in, quote, bad shape. And when prosecutors asked him to elaborate, the man only shook his head and couldn't seem to find the words. Now, Charles Smith faces a number of charges, including child abuse, driving while impaired, reckless and negligent driving, negligent homicide, and motor vehicle manslaughter. From the courthouse in Upper Marlboro, Rochelle Metzger for CTV News.
The trial is expected to last through the end of the week.
Prince George's residents can now get a tax credit for putting in accessibility features like a handicap ramp. The council today passed a measure that will allow homeowners to get up to $2,500 in credit.
Concerning the 2008 water and sewer plan.
The purpose for the legislation is try to give people the opportunity to get assistance if they want to stay in their home, particularly our elderly, or those with disabilities, to be able to provide those kind of improvements in order to allow them to stay and age in place, in essence. So this was a statewide authorization back in 2008. Several other counties have gone through it, including Montgomery and Howard County, and so I thought it was appropriate given.
Now, the county is only allowed to grant $100,000 in funds each year for this purpose. Councilmember Todd Turner, who you just saw, sponsored the legislation.
A fight between 2 male students ends in a stabbing. It happened around 7:45 this morning at Frederick Douglas High School in Upper Marlboro. According to police, the 2 started arguing, and that escalated into a fight. Both were taken to an area hospital. The stabbing victim was in serious condition. The other suffered minor injuries.
The suspect is in custody. The weapon has been recovered. It was a pocket knife. And right now, this does not appear to be gang-related. There is video of the incident, and our detectives are reviewing the video right now as we speak. Charges are pending, yeah, because they do have him in custody, so charges are pending. There was a previous incident involving these students.
The cause of the fight is still under investigation.
Well, a man is dead after a motorcycle crash in Clinton. The accident happened Monday night near the 9600 block of Dangerfield Road. Now, police say the vehicle was traveling south when it veered off the roadway. The man was pronounced dead on the scene. His name has not been released. Well, a Suitland woman dies from complications during a butt lift. 34-year-old Kelly Mayhew went to a house on Dickens Street in Queens, New York to have silicone injected into her buttocks. During the procedure, Mayhew had trouble breathing. The doctor fled the scene in a gray SUV while her mother tried to get some help. Now, police found Mayhew unresponsive. She was rushed to St. John's Hospital where she was pronounced dead. Mayhew's mother says it was her daughter's, at least her daughter's 5th cosmetic surgery. Sad news there. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Gina Barti.